Before Chinese food became normal in America, it had to become safe. Not safe to eat, but safe to imagine. In the late 1800s, Chinese people were feared, blamed, and excluded. Their language was unfamiliar, their customs were mocked, their food was described in newspapers as strange, dirty, even dangerous. Eating Chinese food was framed as a risk, a flirtation with something unknown. And yet, despite that fear, one dish quietly crossed the boundary. It didn't challenge Americans. It didn't demand understanding. It didn't look threatening. It blended in. That dish was chop suey. Chop suey was not ancient. It was not ceremonial. It was not traditional Chinese cuisine passed down through centuries. It was an invention born in America, under pressure, designed to bridge a gap that words could not. To understand why chop suey mattered so much, you have to understand how suspicious Americans were of Chinese people at the time. In the late 19th century, anti-Chinese sentiment was everywhere. Politicians warned that Chinese immigrants could never assimilate. Newspapers ran cartoons portraying them as subhuman. Violence against Chinese communities was common and often ignored by authorities. Food was pulled into this fear. Chinese cooking was portrayed as unsanitary. Ingredients were exaggerated or invented. Rumors spread that Chinese cooks used rats, dogs, or spoiled meat. These lies had nothing to do with reality. They were tools of dehumanization. And yet, curiosity remained. Americans were fascinated by Chinatown. They walked its streets as tourists, peering into shops, staring at signs they couldn't read. Chinese restaurants became attractions, places to experience something foreign, without fully engaging with the people behind it. But curiosity alone doesn't build trust. Chop suey did. Chop suey was simple. Meat, vegetables, sauce, everything recognizable, nothing mysterious. It arrived steaming hot, filling, and affordable. It didn't look like what Americans imagined Chinese food might be. It looked like food they already understood. That familiarity mattered. It meant Americans could eat Chinese food without confronting their fears. Chop suey didn't smell strange. It didn't look exotic. It didn't require chopsticks if you didn't want them. It was Chinese food designed not to scare. Chinese restaurant owners understood this instinctively. They didn't need market research. They saw what sold. They saw which dishes came back empty and which were pushed aside. Chop suey plates came back clean. By the 1890s, chop suey houses were everywhere. From San Francisco to New York, Americans lined up to eat it. Celebrities ate it. Politicians ate it. Newspapers wrote about it endlessly. Eating chop suey became fashionable. This was a turning point. For the first time, Chinese food wasn't just tolerated. It was trusted. That trust had consequences. Once Americans accepted chop suey, they were willing to try other dishes. Fried rice, chow mein, egg foo young. Each new dish followed the same pattern: recognizable ingredients, familiar textures, approachable flavors. Chinese restaurants became normalized, but normalization came at a cost. To maintain trust, Chinese food had to remain predictable. Dishes couldn't change too much. Menus became standardized. Regional diversity disappeared. What Americans trusted was not Chinese food. It was their version of Chinese food. Trust became a cage. As the Chinese Exclusion Act shut down immigration, the menu froze even further. With no new cooks arriving from China, no new regional influences entered the cuisine. American Chinese food became self-contained. Chop suey remained central not because it was beloved, but because it was safe. It symbolized something larger than itself. It symbolized that Chinese immigrants could provide something useful without being fully accepted. That their culture could be consumed even if their presence was resisted. Chop suey didn't challenge stereotypes. It softened them, and that was why it succeeded. Over time, chop suey's popularity declined, but its impact remained. It paved the way for every dish that followed. It taught Chinese restaurant owners what America wanted. It taught Americans what Chinese food was supposed to be. Even today, the structure of American Chinese menus reflects that early lesson. Sweetness, familiarity, predictability, comfort, trust still shapes the plate. When people ask which dish made Chinese food popular in America, they often point to orange chicken or General Tso's chicken. But those dishes came later, built on a foundation of acceptance. Chop Suey built that foundation. It didn't arrive as tradition. It arrived as strategy, and in doing so, it changed American food forever.